being called crazy, being treated like you're insane, like everybody looks at you like, what are you talking about? You know, you're delusional. You're gonna have to man up and accept that. You're gonna have to accept the fact that you're crazy. But also, what you gotta do is look around and realize that everybody's crazy. Everybody crazy in their own ways. Some of them don't even know that they're crazy. And some of them are so crazy, in fact, that their crazy is considered normal and your crazy is considered, well, insane. Like you're a psychopath or something, or I mean a sociopath or something, or you got schizophrenia or whatever, or you're a weirdo, or you're out there, or you're on drugs. Where people kind of don't want you when you stand out and you're so confident in yourself that you don't care about social norms anymore. To people that's so familiar with just being ordinary by society standards every single day, they're gonna give you like they're gonna raise an eyebrow and they're gonna like squint at you or bug eye you and don't because they don't want to admit that maybe what they're doing isn't really them and that they're really not themselves, and they'll take those insecurities and project them onto you, and it's a really toxic area to be around. I feel like especially when you have a family that's so tries so hard to be what society tells them to be, and that's crazy because you're not really most of your beliefs, most of your opinions, your viewpoints, your morality, everything that you've been taught and hammered in your head is not even theirs. It's the ones on the top. It's their decisions. And if you're blind, if you got wool on your eyes, if you're blind enough to just walk into it, then you're just gonna walk into it and you're gonna be fine with that. Some people's fine with being calm. I mean, some people's fine um with being comfortable. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to take a risk. They don't want to question nothing. They don't, because then they're gonna have to think deeper and they're gonna have to self-realize. They're gonna have to realize everything and have a reality check. So they don't want that because a reality check leads to uncomfortability, and they can't handle that. So they're fine staying cozy, and that's crazy. That's wild. And people call me crazy because even my own family sometimes call me crazy because of the things I do. But I don't really care what humans humans are. We make the choices that we make. Everything is a position. There's no black and white. There's no gray area. Everything that we do is based on our own individual accords. And so that means if that's the case, I don't have to follow what a bunch of the crowd tells me. I'm not. No one peer pressures me anymore. I don't go for that no more. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't. Allow. You feel that you're right. You're in the right. And not. I'm not saying that. Just be full of yourself. But I'm saying like you know you have your own code of ethics and they don't. They have validation ethics. They have the code of validation. They have the code of fitting in. And they don't want to see you win like that. That's freedom. That's true freedom when you're comfortable with everything about you. Your traits, your flaws. When you can accept those things, look in the mirror and accept those things, you can address it and see what might not be healthy of a choice or what is the best choice. But regardless, when you're comfortable with yourself, that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So yeah, I am crazy. I am a weirdo. I might be insane, but I'm my insane. I'm my crazy. I'm not the crazy out there. You know, that's just how I see it, And I know based off this, there's going to be some people who call me crazy because it sounds like I'm just saying anything, like I'm just rambling, but that's how it be. That's how it be because I'm trying to think things from my own perspective. I'm open-minded to myself, and I can't worry about how I'm going to be perceived or the reception or people going to give me or being judged, because that used to be a heavy burden. There used to be heavy burdens on me, and I know there's a lot of people that feel that way, who's watching this video or who out there having to play pretend. You have to tuck in that inner child in your imagination because someone tells you, "Oh, you got to grow up." What does that even mean, bro? That's just biology. Of course we're going to get older. That don't mean nothing. Adults, children, that's labels. That's the crazy things that they made up, I'm looking at everything. I'm evaluating everything. Everything is getting evaluated. I'm seeing everything in full detail. I'm questioning my morals, my values that I had in the past. I had to separate them. I had to cut them off because it wasn't me. It's simple as that. It wasn't me. It wasn't me at all. And I didn't like that. I had to zoom out and look around me and analyze everything. I saw people who was wearing masks. Why only when you be yourself? Why can you only be yourself when you're on drugs or you're drunk? You notice how your honesty comes out, and you say the things that you would usually normally be scared to say to anybody around you. And sometimes you wild the hell out, of course, but regardless, you are you for that moment, for that night. Now don't be taking out, don't be drinking alcohol. You'll become an addict. Not only that, but you'll become an alcoholic. But not only that, you'll be so yourself that you'll be out of yourself. Alcohol will make you so yourself that you become an entirely different person. But regardless, no longer am I obligated to people's expectations. No more. That's not happening, and it shouldn't happen to you either. Yeah. I don't need a therapist. I don't need to go to a psychiatric hospital. I don't need to meet a psychiatrist. None of that, I'm crazy, but I'm not harmful crazy. I'm not negatively crazy. I'm positive crazy. Negative crazy is when you're harming people, or you're harming people, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just being a misfit and standing out from the circle. You're to stand out in the circle, you gotta be the square. You got sharp edges. They can't come in. You got sharp edges surrounding you. A circle is just like a circle. Everything's open. A hole, someone can just walk in it. But a square, you can't put a cylinder in a square. Can't do that. That's how you gotta be. You gotta be relentless like that. And you're gonna lose a lot of people. People gonna try to, stop talking to you a little bit more. They're gonna do less talking. You're gonna have I don't even need friends. Real talk. I haven't had friends in years. And they look at you like you're crazy if you don't got friends. Like, you just talk to yourself all you just with yourself all the time. How do you do that? It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm too into it, man. I don't think I can just go back to quote unquote being normal. Cause that's insane. That's crazy. Crazy goes a long way. Crazy is everything, really. Anything can be considered crazy. The things that are normal to you, black and white, red and blue, ABC 1, 2, 3, it's crazy because of the fact that, what do we even need all this stuff for anyway? That's just things that we were indoctrinated, that we was taught about. They don't have actual value at the end of the day. It's just finding meaning at the end of the day, having an identity. I feel like a lot of people they just have a customized identity based off of preferences that's acceptable and formidable, It's like, that's the wrong word. You get what I mean? They're not themselves. They're like characters in a cartoon series. They're like characters in a movie. A very, 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 very trash movie. A very cheesy and corny movie. Exaggerated acting, overacting, or barely acting at all. That's what it is. That's the metaphor I choose. That's the analogy. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm on right now. That's the vibe. That's the vibe I'm on. And it's best for you to get in on that vibe too, because you only live once. And I learned that at 22 years old. Usually, a lot of people my age, at that age, don't really they don't think about none of that. They don't really think like that. And when they do think, it's about things that are superficial, like college and school, SAT, studying, jobs, spending money. Oh, what clothes should I wear when I go over this friend's house or go to this party or this club? They think about those things, but I'm thinking about out there concepts that you can't really run away from, that you're gonna have to face up. And they look at, that's definitely where they look at me like I'm really crazy. When I start hitting them with them facts, then all of a sudden, oh, you're depressed. Are you on drugs? The typical, they go down that same list every time. It shatters their worldview. And then, like that, they call you crazy. Then be crazy. Be crazy.